trust and rely on, all that means believe God. And in the back end, let's just be clear. Unbelief had shut them out. Unbelief, which is the product of a hard heart. Don't listen to God, so I don't have to do what God requires. Whose land was it? Well, I thought the answer would have come by now. Whose land was it?
It's God's land. But it's
Should have been there 20 minutes ago. Because Psalm says the earth belongs to God, and the fullness thereof, the world,
all that.
everybody in it, it all belongs to God. So we call it the promised land, but in reality, it was God's land to give to whoever he wanted to. Now watch this. When it's your land, when it's your possession, guess what? It's your rules. The Bible says first natural and spiritual. Now I don't know what y'all did as girls, but now as it relates to most of the board games, it requires some type of ball. You'd be surprised at how many times you walk up on a court or a field and here's 6 or 7 guys just standing here. You know what?
They need a ball.
Nobody got a... Now watch this. And you really can't play. But watch this. Guess what? You got the ball. Now, I don't know how girls did it. This is how boys did it. Now, you know you can't play, and they know you can't play, but guess what?
You got
Because it's my ball, guess what comes behind my ball?
I gotta play.
My rules.
Mm-hmm.
So now, I don't care how y'all divide the teams up. If I ain't playing, y'all ain't playing. See how that work? See, when you possess a thing, you get to say how it goes. It's God's land, so he gets to make the rules as to who can stay and what you get to do in the promised land. Watch this. The people don't get there because to get there was to believe God. We see levels of belief all the time. I work with a young cat. He needed a car. He wants to go to some dealership, and he gets a Durango, but the back passenger seat, somebody has run into the car, and the back tire is, and it's like, I said, who? I said, who hit you? And so, oh no, I bought it like that. Wow. Now you're looking, but you ain't listening. He could believe for a car, but only a raggedy one. You're missing the point. See, and we do God the same way. God will have new car in our destiny, but guess what?
We'll settle for used.
I can't believe in a new car. And guess what you leave out there with? God cannot do anything beyond what you are able to believe. I need you to get that. God can do anything within the realm of what you can believe. Is anybody listening? It was God's will, Serena, that everybody that left Egypt was supposed to go into Canaan. Hebrews 3:19 says, what shut the people out? Look at it in your Bible. You ain't there yet? Hebrews 3:19. In that 5 Classic, it shows you right there. What's that last line say? Did what?
Shut them out.
Not God. Now, watch this. Yeah. Can't locate it. There's a scripture I want to show you that talks about when Jesus came to Nazareth, his hometown, he was prepared to do great and mighty things. The only problem was he was dumbfounded at the level of unbelief the people had in him. I just absolutely, you the carpenter's son. I can't get with that. He preaching, man, no. He should be making tables.
Yeah.
And the Bible says he could only heal a few sick folk. Wow. Not because he didn't have power, the people just would not.
Believe in.
3:19. The people were shut out because of unbelief. Now watch this. Mark 6:5, that's where I want to go. 6, 4, and 5. I can't read all of it, but anyway. Y'all want to go there? Do Chris Price, go all the way to 1. Now he healing everywhere. He blessing everywhere, Dorothy. People are just receiving him, getting the message, delivered, demons cast out. I mean, it is going on everywhere. Well, now, no real person is fully excited about blessing everybody else's house. And at some point,
Not blessing me.
come on. All right? So 6:1.
Jesus went away from there and came to his own country and hometown Nazareth, and his disciples followed with him.
Come on.
And on the Sabbath he began to teach in the synagogue, and many who listened to him were utterly astonished, saying, Where did this man acquire all this?
Stop. Now, instead of focused on what he's saying, are you paying attention?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Worried about where he get this from.
Now, what is that in English? You know, you bring a new preacher up here, and you know, you really can't hear what he's saying because,
Who are you?
yeah,
Come from?
and that's like, you know, he got on like 3 shades of blue. Yeah, and the shoes don't even match. Now, this is what we're doing. Now, the man is trying to give a word,
Yeah.
and
Critiques.
is that his real hairline? Is that a hairpiece? Is that his real teeth? I can't really tell. And I mean, we just be going on, man, and on. And it's like, his fingernails is too long. Hey, man, what is the man saying? Look at it. He is trying to give a word, and they're going back and forth. Where did he get this? Where did this come from? Keep reading.
What is the wisdom, the broad and full intelligence which has been given to him? What mighty works and expeditions of power are wrought by his hand?
Now, these are big time questions, because here's the real issue. 3.
Is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary, and the brother of James and Joseph and Judas and Simon? Are not his sisters here among us? And they took offense at him.
Now, notice their declaration in verse 3. What did it say?
Is he a carpenter?
So now, what is that in English?
He
They
don't
knew
have
him.
no
They knew
business
him.
preaching the word.
Because he should be,
Making wood stuff.
yeah, he should be making tables.
Yeah.
He should be doing the framework to houses.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I need my carpet replaced. Now, that's what he need to be doing.
The walls.
I need a patio extended to my backyard. Yeah. Ain't this the carpenter? So in reality, I can't hear nothing you're saying because in my mind, you're out of place. You have no business trying to tell me nothing unless you explaining how to go from a square table to a round one. And instead of being blessed by this word, like everybody in surrounding cities were, they chose another route.
Took offense.
They were offended, which means they're not hearing nothing he has to say. And if they are closing their ears to what he has to say, they're not going to do what he says to do. And so this becomes the recipe for a when you have a hard heart, you won't believe. Verse 4, watch this.
But Jesus said to them, a prophet is not without honor, deference, reverence, except in his own country, and among his relatives, and in his own house.
That's a powerful word. But now what's the problem with that? What's the first line of verse 4?
The prophet is not without honor.
That ain't the first line.
Or Jesus said.
To who?
Damn.
But what's the problem with Jesus said to them? I hear you. Verse 3 made it clear. We're not listening to you. So it doesn't matter how profound this word is in verse 4. You say what you want about the Pharisees and the lawyers in the lesson last night. See, he knew when they were talking about them.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesus, the people's offended because, you're talking about us. See, they understood that.
Yeah.
These folks so dumb, he done just said your mama and they didn't even hear it. They should have been offended and weren't offended because they had turned him off. I got on everywhere, except with you jokers. Everybody respects me everywhere else, but right here. You're looking, but you ain't listening. Mm-hmm. See, a black person can say something in the black community and it's not received. Now, a white man can say, all right. And the black man just turned to flip. I just said that. And it's like that straight across the board. I have honor everywhere but among my own. Now here's the reality, verse 5. Look at how this is worded.
And he was not able to do even one work of power there, except that he laid his hand on a few sickly people and cured them.
Now here it is, verse 6.
And he marveled because of their unbelief.
Did you see that? He marveled because the depths that y'all have gone to choose not to believe in me is unbelievable. Wow. Now let's go to Hebrews chapter 4. Now, what shut them out?
Unbelief.
All right? And so that we're clear, what is unbelief? Got him a bind hearing on.
I said like not listening and hardening your heart.
All right? Now, we understand definition, so when you don't talk definition to church folk or folk out in the world, you don't listen to God, then it's impossible to do what God says. Push you in a bad space with God. Well, that's not just a believer. That's your kid. You talking, but they engaged. So you have to stop talking and go, hey. Now, hearing is of such, they hear you, but they're not,
Listening.
which means they're not paying.
Attention.
Because when you walk off, the task is not going to be done because you can tell they are engaged. Teacher does in the classroom. Now you stand up here, but you can tell by the response of the kid they're not.
Yeah. Engaged.
And if they're not listening to you, it's not going to get done. So watch this. So when we end chapter 3, what is the subject of chapter 3 then?
Trying to get you to believe.
Trying to rest.
That's what the subject of the chapter is. Because the people are in the wilderness, and the only thing that is of importance is
Get through it.
I'm trying to get you somewhere. But in order to access to somewhere, you can't believe over there.
You gotta believe here now.
So watch this. I have to believe Canaan is mine, not after I get it.
Before I get it.
So I'm going for the job, Jesse. I can't believe I got it after people called me.
Beforehand.
If I'm going to get on the same page with God and operate, celebrate, and shout in faith, I got to do it when ain't no decision been made on their end if I believe God is working on my end.
Amen. Amen.
Watch this. We act surprised when it should be confirmed in us when God does what he does. God has rest on his mind. The people had benefits on their mind. Are we still talking about the people? See, God has down the road in his mind for us, and we can't move there in God because we have right now benefits on our mind. We talking about God add a TV and you ain't got time to watch it. You crazy. Chapter 3 ended, so we see. They missed it because of unbelief. What's your story? Because when we go to chapter 4, verse 1, look at how verse 1 opens up.
Therefore.
Now when the chapter opens up with therefore, what is that the result of?
Something else previously said.
But now, therefore is a transitional word. Now, because you understood this over here, now let's talk about
This right now.
now. Math stacks progressively. Watch this. This is how church folks are crazy. The 5 signs of a head church. The first sign is they continue steadfast in the apostle doctrine. Now you have fellowship, worship, all of this that comes behind, outreach, administration. Now, when you have a problem down the road, see this is the reality of church folk. You want to fix it right here. You're crazy. The reason why there's a problem here is because there was a disconnect here. When you understand they continue steadfast in the apostles' doctrine, now the proving ground, the quizzes come in fellowship. Now when you have fellowship issues, you can't fix it in fellowship. You got a Bible issue. Because the reason why you acting funny in the fellowship issue is you missed a Bible study lesson. Ooh-wee. Watch this. When you get to algebra and you struggle with x, 3x equals this, you can't fix it in algebra. Anybody hear what I'm saying? When you have problems in algebra, they don't talk algebra to you.
No.
Because they realize you got. So I don't care how far back. Rosin, we got to go back. Now, do we have a multiplication problem? Do we have a fractions problem? Do we have a division problem? Because something is wrong back here, which is why you can't function.
Right.
Now, say that all you want. Oh, we got an algebra problem. We're going to fix it in algebra. But you're going to be here all day. Because I don't have an algebra problem. I got a multiplication problem, which is not an algebra problem. Ooh. It's something I should already know how to do before I got to.
Yeah, to this level.
See, they play them games in high school. See, in college, when you got to pay for the class, they got this big old long word called pre.
Requisites.
You know what that is in English? You just can't take some of these classes because you want them.
Yeah.
Hey, I just signed up for this. They get to asking questions. Have you had so-and-so? Oh, well, no. Have you had so-and-so? Well, no. You can't take this class.
Yeah.
What is that in English? Because this ain't no class for dummies. And we ain't finna babysit.
Yeah.
I don't have time to explain to you what you should have already got
Back then.
So if you ain't got it from back there, get out of here right now. Why would you be a prerequisite church for? Then there wouldn't be no church, huh? It wouldn't be no church. Woo! We've got you talking all the way to kindergarten. What's before kindergarten? What's before Head Start? Because some church folk, I swear, y'all be coming to the Head Start struggling. Where's your mom and daddy at? No, Jesus, just shove them back in the womb. Can we go back there? Let's go back before that mom and daddy met. Can we go back there? Woo! We talking about prerequisites, ain't we? Watch this. They missed the rest because they wouldn't believe God. It's hard to believe when you won't hear.
Yeah.
So you see the strength of Romans 10:7-10. So then, faith comes. Now, we don't believe that because we absolutely refuse to filter what we hear. Everything we hear affects everything we hear.
Yeah.
You missed it. You know what's hard for your kids to mind you? Because they don't just hear you. They hear everybody else that's talking to them. And all the other voices are drowning out. Watch this. We ended chapter 3 talking about them. King James says, let us. So a ship occurs. In chapter 4, now we're still talking about the same subject of rest, but the writer says, I'm through talking about them. I'm talking about, and where you trying to go? Now, in fact, like, therefore, while what?
The promise of entering his rest still holds and is offered today.
Stop. What a mindset. But it's not offered to individuals. We can't get together in a local church. Can you imagine churches trying to get together to access a Canaan and God? See, we think Canaan should be sectioned off. Where's the black section? Where's the white section? Where's the Hispanic section? And see, as long as you feel like it's in sections, you won't have no section. While Canaan was divided up per tribe, it was still all the tribes made one family.
Right.
While it still holds in its offer today, but it don't matter because we won't do what it takes to access it. It says, let us what?
Be afraid to distrust it, lest any of you should think he has come too late and has come short of reaching it.
Did you see that? You're missing the language. It said, let us be afraid to distrust it, lest any of you. How do you go from us to you? Child, I'm getting mine. See? Not in Canaan, you can't. Canaan is not an I place, it's a we place.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are some things God never intended for you to enjoy. It was intended for y'all to enjoy.
Amen.
Because when you're really in God, some stuff is too good for you to hold by yourself.
Amen.
I say when you're in God. See, when you're not in God, you're talking about, child, I'm trying to get all I can. See, that's a selfish spirit.
Yes.
And when you're trying to get all you can, what you realize is God says, see, you'll never qualify for this place.
Come on now.
Because see, yeah, the wilderness is a you place.
Yes, it is.
Get what you can eat. Get what you can hold. Get what you can consume. But see, Canaan is not a you place, it's a y'all place. And because the folk could never get past the you, they died in the wilderness. And guess what? It's some more folk gonna die in your wilderness.
Yes.
As long as we can't transition from a me to a us.
Yeah.
See, God says you don't even qualify for Canaan. And I got news for you. As we progress through chapter 4, see, there's a Sabbath rest, there was a Canaan rest, and there's a heaven rest.
Lord.
Yes, it is.
Lord.
And what God understands is each one progressively qualifies you for the other.
Yes, it do.
If you can't do what it takes to enter into an earthly Canaan rest, forget a heaven rest.
Yes, Lord.
It's the same rest.
Same rest.
Hey.
Lord.
Same rest.
Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Don't let unbelief shut you out. And don't be deceived into thinking it is something that you can attain personally. It said, lest any of you should think he has come too late or has come short of reaching it. Don't believe it and don't let nobody teach you that. Oh, you're too late for Canaan.
Thank you, Jesus.
Amen.
Verse 2, here he comes.
For indeed, we have had the glad tidings, gospel of God, proclaimed to us just as truly as they, the Israelites of old, did when the good news of deliverance from bondage came to them. But the message they heard did not benefit them, because it was not mixed with faith, with the leaning of the entire personality on God in absolute trust and confidence in his power, wisdom, and goodness by those who heard it. Neither were they united in faith with the ones, Joshua and Caleb, who heard, did believe.
Now go to King James.
That's a lot.
Watch this. The only two components in this verse. Here we go. It says, for unto us the gospel was preached as well as unto them. It's better translated in the Greek. It's the word of hearing. They thought Moses was just talking to be talking. But God wants to know who's hearing. I told you in the fourth grade we went to the zoo and the teacher knew they had just built this park across the street in the parking lot. Now in the classroom she said when we get there, don't nobody jump off this bus and go to the park. Now, it wasn't that she was a mean teacher. This was about a word of, when we got off the bus, almost everybody in the class, and I started out toward the park, we all ran, and halfway there I stopped. Because this was in the era, teachers, they wouldn't even call corporal punishment, just beat me. Because Miss Georgia had a little piece of leather, about like that. It was used too, because she used it. And this is what was at stake. She just wanted to know who was. Hey, get what you need for today. I'm gonna send some more tomorrow. What do people do? They got extra. It bread, worms, and stank. God didn't care about the extra. What he cared about was it was a word of hearing. On Friday, get twice as much, Sister Carolyn, because I'm not raining down on Saturday. It was a word of. Now the people got twice as much, but Mother Deborah on Saturday, guess what?
Looking.
The Bible said he went out looking, and he asked Moses, what is wrong with your people? That they refuse to, what I'm saying. Because he don't care about the food, but what you're showing me is, if you can't follow simple instructions, forget the complicated. If you can't do what I say on the short end, you'll never qualify on the other end. Now, he's trying to make a comparison. Nothing changed. That's why it's the word of hearing. You can't get zoom in on the gospel because they were trying to get into a specific location. God is trying to get us into realms and dimensions in our lives. So it's not the same word.
Come on.
They were trying to access a earthly place. God is trying to get us to access spiritual places. So it's not the same word, but it's the word of hearing. Because they didn't get into there because they wouldn't hear what God was saying. And we're missing our places right now in the spiritual realm because we're not hearing what God is saying.
Yes, amen.
Watch this. The word went out to them just like it comes to us. Here it is. But they didn't do with the word what they should have. Watch this. Look at the verse carefully. King James says, it did not profit them. Why not? Why didn't it profit the Israelites? Look at it again. I don't know what these words be in the verses for that y'all be reading. And you say you went to school. It's right up there in the verse. Look at it. Stop.
We didn't believe.
Hold on. See, the Bible says line. See, you know the verse, but you don't know what it means. Precept. Now, you got to stack this stuff up. Now, how does it come?
Individually.
What's the rest of the verse say?
Here a little, there a little.
Which means, if I'm to get what God has to say, it requires consistency in me. If I'm hitting and, you'll never get the full understanding of God. Watch this. What is an allegory?
I'm just going to go deeper. Deeper to it.
An allegory is at least two-dimensional. At least. There's something on the,
Surface.
because you got to start there. But by definition, by allegory, you can't,
Just stop there.
you have to
Start there.
start there, but you can't,
Stop there.
because if you stop there, by definition of allegory, you miss
The other half.
the real point. It's so much when we call ourselves reading the Bible, it is written in allegoric form. We start at the right spot, but too often we stay there and we miss the real point of God. And you got to know to run out of here shouting, and God is like, these folk crazy. You didn't get the point. And without getting the point, no advantage, no benefit, no change. There's a Bible verse that says money answereth all. Not if you can't budget. See, to get that point, hey, money, all I need is money. No, you need more than money. You need sense with your silly self, because as soon as you get money, you spend everything you get. So see, money answers all ain't gonna help you, because as far as you concerned, ain't enough money in the whole world. Watch out, if I just make a little bit of money, you're gonna spend a little bit more money. So you don't have a money issue, you have a spending issue. Watch this. I have to start somewhere, and I gotta go in God. Look at the verse again. It tells you why it did not profit. Look up at the board. And we're out of time because that took too long. Look at this. You can't say, why didn't it profit them? Because it wasn't mixed with faith. How can you stop there and cut off all of these words? wasn't no faith for them to mix. What they were missing was they weren't getting it, but somebody was. And they never united with those who got it. See, you say you're tired of being broke, but your friend circle don't say that. See, when you're really tired of being broke, you put some folk in your circle that's got something. Because those individuals will inspire you to move from where you are to where they are and to progressively keep moving. See, if you ain't got nothing, you have to surround yourself with folk that's got something so they inspire you to get something in your life. If you broke and your circle is broke, guess what? We all stay broke. Talking about child one day, we all dreaming, wishing on a star. Joshua and Caleb got it and told the people they had it. Hey, let's not go tomorrow.
Go right now.
Let's go get this right now. They didn't unite with them. You united with the losers that didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
Watch this. This is the goodness of God. When we were to pray, God is so awesome. There's always somebody where we're trying to go. In the journey of life, there is always somebody that is where we're trying to go. Now the problem is we don't unite with those who are where we're trying to go for various reasons, and as a result, we never get where we're trying to go. Everybody got an apartment. So, child, one day we're going to have a house. And everybody you know in an apartment. Somebody in your circle got to have a house that you can visit and be inspired to go. Did y'all have an apartment? Yeah, we used to have an apartment. And this is what we did to get a house. See, because there's certain realms of reality here that don't get it done, Delisha. And so God expects us to live in certain realms so that we move from realm to realm to inspire people that if he did it for them. But if everybody in your circle is right where's the inspiration come from? Watch this. The same word went out. Joshua and Caleb is no different than nobody else in the group. The Bible says what made them different was they chose to believe it just like God said it. Watch this. If Canaan was attainable by individuals, then they should have been the first in. Why couldn't they go in? Because it was a place for a nation, not for individuals. They got to wait 40 years until the nation was ready. And we run around deceiving ourselves, child, I don't care, I'm going to get my Canaan, and you'll never get it because it ain't your Canaan. This was a place that was to be enjoyed by the nation. If God, I told you it's the place of abundance. If God turns you loose as an individual in the place of abundance, you be dead in an hour. Watch this. We're going to pray. I'll prove it to you. The Bible says first natural and spiritual. What's preeminently wrong with our athletes, movie stars, all these folks that we call rich and famous? What's ultimately wrong?
They usually come from that.
Into
a lot of money at one time.
Then what happens?
They don't know if they lose their mind. They don't know how to control it. Manage it.
So I said, they don't become more successful.
Sometimes they become less.
And now you in all of these vices that sooner or later cause you to
Destruct.
because God didn't give it to you. What God gives to a person is what they can manage.
Come on.
See, the prayer about the 5 talents, the 2 talents, and the 1 talent, that's God. The man wasn't being funny. The parable is, why did he divide it like that?
What they would do.
It was divided like that according to what each man could manage. I gave you 5 because I know you can handle 5. I gave you 2 because I know you can handle 2. And
Right there.
and that was a mercy gift. Because what the story showed was he couldn't even,
Man was in.
so he shouldn't have gave him. But see, if he give him nothing, see, you'll be crying all in the story. How was the man supposed to do it? He didn't give him nothing. See, and that's how I feel. I can't do nothing in the Lord. The Lord ain't gave me nothing. Oh, he didn't give you something, but you don't manage nothing. Yeah. There's a whole lot of stuff God has given us, and
Yes.
it's in our yard.
Yes.
You could have been came up, but it's in your yard, buried. I want to hit it in the ground, Lord. There's where thy blessing is.
Wow.
We could have been came up, but it's buried. Father, we thank you and we praise you so much.
Thank you, Lord.
Your word is great. Your word is awesome. It has never changed. God, what has to change is our hearing and our response to your word. We don't need you to do more. We don't need you to go more places. We say unreasonable stuff. I need more of God. We ain't doing nothing with the part we got. We don't need more of you. You need more of us. You need us to release more of us to you. Surrender more of us to you. Father, I thank you and I praise you that we have always had all that we need. It is just difficult to access it because we spend so much time listening to the wrong people.
Yes, Lord.
Everybody can get our ear, but you.
Yes.
You get the glory, all the honor and the praise.
Yes.
Because your word says, while they were missing it, it was still promised to them. So it wasn't on you, it was on them. And whether we possess it or allow it to be missed in our lives, it's the same situation. It won't be because you're a mean God. It'll be because somebody couldn't hear a holy God. Father, I thank you for this word and the word that is coming for those who can hear and respond accordingly. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.